Sometimes I feel lonely, sometimes I feel scared, sometimes I grow weak, but I always know that you're there. Sometimes I am so selfish, sometimes I fill up with pride, but I always know that you're right there by my side. If I had to do it over, I'd have met you long before. I'd have given my whole life to you, I'd have given my whole life. And now my only question, how can I love you more? I wanna give you all that I am, I'll give you all I am. So take me down the corridor that leads me to the cross. Take me to where you are, but I wanna be where you are. Take me down the corridor that leads me to your house. Take me to where you live, but I wanna be where you live. Sometimes I question my existence, sometimes I wonder why I'm here. But when I realize your ability to use me, it becomes clear, so clear. And when I look into the eyes of my child, so innocent, there's evidence of your love, evidence of you. Then it makes me realize that's how you see me, made within your image, so pure and perfectly. So take me down the corridor that leads me to the cross. Take me to where you are, but I wanna be where you are. Take me down the corridor that leads me to your house. Take me to where you live, but I wanna be where you live. And regardless of how I feel, it's your word I will rely on. 'Cause the road is ever narrow, so I'll heed to your command. Take me down the corridor that leads me to the cross. Take me to where you are, but I wanna be where you are. Take me down the corridor that leads me to your house. Take me to where you live, but I wanna be where you live. Take me down the corridor, take me to your house. Take me down the corridor, take me down the corridor, take me to where you The gates and doors were barred and all the windows fastened down. I spent the night in sleeplessness and rose at every sound, half in hopeless sorrow and half in fear the day would find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. And just before the sunrise I heard something at the wall.
The gate began to rattle and a voice began to call. So I hurried to the window, I looked down into the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. But there was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me as she told me where she'd been. She said they've moved him in the night and none of us knows where. The stone's been rolled away and now his body isn't there. So we all ran toward the garden and John ran on ahead. We found the stone and the empty tomb just the way that Mary said. But the winding sheet they wrapped him in was just an empty shell. And how or where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. Something strange had happened there, but just what I didn't know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him and I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I'd promised him added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I didn't know I knew his name. And even if he was alive, it wouldn't be the same. But suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. And Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide. And I fell down on my knees and I just clung to him and cried. But then he raised me to my feet, and as I looked into his eyes, love was shining out from him like sunlight from the skies. Guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet relief.